Okay, week 2, let's talk about literature review just a little bit more in detail. You may not have ever even heard of a literature review before. If you've read much of any research, you'll see that there's always a section close to the top on literature review. It's the place where you would share what you have researched that has anything to do with your topic. It's what I hope flows out of your annotated bibliographies. Although be careful that those are not just abstracts, or you've kind of missed the point being able to pull it into your literature review. The literature review is not just a whole bunch of abstracts, thoughts from abstracts stuck into a paper. This would be the part where you really thoughtfully look at what is the research saying about what I'm wanting to know about. What has somebody already looked at? What are the real formal researches that have been done that address my concern? And all this ties back to your question that you're researching. What is the topic that's driving all of this whole project for you? If that part is shaky, then the rest of this is on crumbling ground. That's why if that's not really solid for you, call me and let's get that really, really solid so that we can build on top of that this literature review. And I can be very specific then in suggestions for you about angles you might take based on exactly what your topic is. As in any of the parts of your research project, the first paragraph is going to be is kind of an introduction about what you're going to tell us. As in any good paper, these are just, think of these as kind of mini papers all put together. You always start off with an introduction telling us what you're going to tell us about, and then the information in between there, and for literature review should certainly have some detail citing all the references that you're pulling that information from using APA format. Give us all that you can, and then a summary telling us what you told us. Good paper writing. Tell us what you're going to tell us. Tell us what you told us. And that's true for chapter 1 of your paper, and now chapter 2 for your literature review. It will be the same as we move into the next parts of your research. For the literature review, I'm going to say, as far as length, it just needs to cover your topic well. Could that be done in a paragraph? No. Page or a couple of pages? Possibly. You're going to be able to pull direct quotations, so it may be fairly long because you're pulling exactly what someone has said. Make sure you're citing those specifically. For instance, if it was from a book, you don't just say the book. You'd put in your citation, in your reference section, what page numbers. That would be in your citation also. Look up that APA format. I'm going to put in our resources some APA connections for you that hopefully will make that very clear for you. And it is one of the things I'll be watching for. If you get through your literature review well enough that you can start actually into your research, actually conducting some of the things that you've planned in that first part about this is what I want to find out about and this is how I'm going to find it out. Now the literature review, if you can, go ahead and move right into that research. Because Action Research 3 will either be doing that research and reporting your findings, or you could move into that now in Action Research 2 and get some of that already kind of underway so that Action Research 3 will even be easier for you because all of this pulls through from Action Research 1 to 2 and then into 3, either doing your research and reporting your findings or reporting your findings. And of course you need to have your conclusions then that you draw from all of that. Remember the cycle for action research. Reflect, determine what you want to look at, research it, do your research, act on it, and then reflect on it. And here we go around again in the circle, remember? So it may be that you even start some of your research, think about it, and kind of continue forward. A lot of this depends so specifically on what your research question is. So I really encourage you to call me. Let's have some specific discussions about yours exactly. But primarily, your big focus for Action Research 2 is Chapter 2. As far as seeing that title page, abstract, questions, those things that are listed actually in the course, your abstract you will begin, but you actually can't put it all together until you finish. Your introduction should be well established from Chapter 1. This is your literature review, but you will continually be pulling all those references through to the end. Make sure it's in APA format. That kind of pulls it together in a nutshell, and hopefully that gives you what you need to know to start off the process. To get specific, what are you going to do? Give me a call. Thank you.